It's time again for Political Empire. This is Jeff Horseman with the Press Enterprise and PE.com, and we're going to talk a little bit about a upcoming Riverside County Supervisor race. We have two candidates running for one seat so far. Then we're going to give you ongoing coverage of what's going on in Moreno Valley with this corruption probe and search warrants. We've been working very hard on it, trying to cover it since the search warrants were served on Tuesday. But first, it's official. Term-limited Democratic Assemblyman V. Manuel Perez of Coachella will try to unseat Riverside County Supervisor John Benoit in 2014. Perez earlier this year announced he was forming an exploratory committee to run for the 4th supervisorial seat, which covers the county's desert communities. Benoit is a Republican and former state lawmaker who has held the seat since 2009. Moving on, in case you missed it, federal and local agents served search warrants throughout Moreno Valley on April 30th, raiding the homes of all 5 city council members, a businessman with close political connections, and the corporate offices of warehouse developer Highland Fairview. Now, I participated in a Google Hangout yesterday featuring reporters who covered the searches, and we're going to play that for you. It's about 10 minutes and contains plenty of information on what's been happening.
Good afternoon. I'm Mark Acosta, one of the assistant Metro editors here at the Press Enterprise and PE.com. We're here to do a Google Hangout, a little chat here. We've got several of our reporters to talk about the big news of the day today, which was a political corruption investigation apparently opening up in Moreno Valley. So let me go around the table here and introduce folks. We have one of our writers, Jeff Horseman. Jeff, can you hear us?
Oh, yep.
All right, Jeff's there. We have Laura Hines, who covers Moreno Valley for us. Welcome, Laura.
Hi.
And we have Rich Diatley, another one of our writers on our public safety team. Rich, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Laura Hines. Laura, why don't you tell us, give us sort of an overview of what's happening out there this morning, starting I think early this morning, right?
Right. Councilmember Richard Stewart told me that agents showed up at his house about 7 o'clock this morning and asked him for any kind of device that has a hard drive. So we're talking about computers, external hard drives like thumb drives, and he said he gave him a laptop, a mini computer, and then a hard drive, and said that he was willing to give them anything else that they wanted, passwords to his email. He said he didn't have anything to hide, and he said he told the agents that he keeps most of his political stuff at his law office, which is at Raceway Ford in Riverside, and said he didn't have any problem with them going there. He said he talked to his law partner, Michael Geller, who is so a friend of Mayor Tom Owings and Owings' personal attorney. And Geller told him that they hadn't asked to come over to the law office yet.
Now, it went much further than just that place. Can you give us a quick overview of how many places were searched and who?
Sure. Besides Stewart, all of the city council members' homes were supposed to have been searched, as well as the offices of Highland Fairview, which is the developer of the Skechers warehouse in Moreno Valley, and the home of Jerry Stevens. He's a real estate broker in Moreno Valley. He's also a friend of Ben Zeevy's and Owings's, and he's a major a major campaign contributor.
I see. Rich, can you tell us, we're going to go Rich Diatley, can you tell us a little bit about what the authorities were saying, of what they were looking for, or what was their official statement?
Well, they weren't going to disclose exactly what they were looking for, and the search warrants, they said, were sealed. This was a search by the Inland Regional Corruption Task Force. That's a combination of federal agencies, in this case the FBI and the IRS and the Justice Department from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles, combined in this case with the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. And there was sort of a split level on these search warrants. The federal warrants were for Highland Fairview offices, the businessman Jerome Jerry Stevens, and for Mayor Tom Owings. The other warrants were issued by the local agency, the district attorney's office in this case, for the other 4 members of the city council. Moreno Valley City Council is a rotating mayor, so that's all 5 city councils council members includes the mayor. Once again, they said there were no arrests today from this, both local and federal authorities, although arrests may come from this. They said that they never want to preclude saying there's going to be an arrest, but there were none today.
Thanks, Rich. Now, Laura, what is? Can you tell us what is the speculation? Or I know they're not officially saying, but what is this about? What are people out there saying that they think is the target here?
When I talked to Stuart, he said the agents asked for communications, but he didn't go into any kind of detail about what they were looking for. The speculation. There are residents out there who have long suspected that City Hall is corrupt. And one of the city's frequent critics, her name is Deanna Reeder, about a year ago filed a corruption complaint with the Attorney General's office. From there, other people, including former City Councilman Bill Beatty, have also made allegations about corruption inside City Hall. And around the time when he was leaving the city council, which would have been in December, he had said that he was going to go to District Attorney Zellerbach's office to talk to him about his complaint. I talked to Beatty today. He said he was surprised by what he was hearing about the search warrants being served, and he wouldn't say whether he ever went to Zellerbach's office.
So it's unclear if today's events were related to either of those 2 concerns.
The only thing that we were told is from one of the agents out there who said that this was an ongoing political corruption case. Okay.
Okay, Jeff, we didn't forget about you. Jeff, you were out at one of these search scenes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like being out there and what you saw and who was there and what the scene was like?
Sure. Well, I went to the home of Councilman Jesse Molina right up there a little after 9, and right away you could tell something was unusual because there was a dark blue minivan pulled out right in front of the driveway. Molina's home is at the end of a cul-de-sac, and there's kind of an iron gate between the street and the driveway. And the minivan was pulled up there, and then right away you saw kind of a district attorney's investigator in dark blue military fatigues kind of standing guard. And so I asked him what was going on. He said that the DA's office was assisting the FBI with the execution of a search warrant, and they had been there since 7 a.m. And from that point, I observed ultimately up to maybe about a dozen DA and FBI people based on their insignia walking in and out, and they ultimately took, I'm going to say, at least 3 file boxes full of what appeared to be files or papers or things of that nature, and they loaded that into the minivan. And they also loaded what appeared to be kind of like I'm going to describe it as sort of a central processing unit. It was like this, if you get like a personal computer, it's the thing that holds the hard drive and disk drives, everything like that. They loaded that in there, as well as a what appeared to be a printer or a fax machine, or maybe a combination of the 2 that was loaded into the minivan as well. They all cleared at about 10:30, and I had a chance to talk with Councilman Molina, and he said that they had taken hard drives, computers, and phones, but he wasn't exactly sure what they were looking for.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Rich, I'm going to go to you here. Now, the city of Moreno Valley put out a brief statement. Do you remember what exactly they said in that statement?
Well, it was a pretty generalized statement. It just said that the authorities hadn't contacted, I'm looking at it here, City Hall or city offices, and I believe that means in terms of the search, that they will absolutely cooperate fully if contacted, is what the city said. Going back a little bit to what Jeff said, by the way, the FBI said that they had brought along with them a mobile lab designed for analysis of data. So obviously, in this day and age, hard drives, data storage material is a big deal in these kinds of investigations.
Now, Rich, can you tell us, this is not the first, a lot of our readers or people who've been following the Press Enterprise and PE.com, this is not the first raid or search regarding a probe like this that we've seen. Can you give us a quick overview? There's been a few recently, I believe, right?
Right. There's been within the last 3 or 4 years, especially the ones that people might remember would be the San Bernardino International Airport and the Arrowhead Regional Center, and those were both by these Joint Task Force investigations. The Arrowhead Regional Center, I guess would be quick to say, is that nothing has been filed on that. There's recently been some charges filed regarding the International Airport. The Lake Elsinore City Hall, the San Jacinto corruption case from 2009, and the Colonies Partners case in San Bernardino County from 2011. These are all investigations where there were search warrants and lots of agencies involved that people might remember from around here. Right.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for taking time out of your busy day. It's been a crazy day around the newsroom, so we thank you all for taking the time out. Everybody watching, thanks for watching. Make sure to stick with PE.com and read the Press Enterprise in the morning. We're going to have a lot more on this as the story continues to develop. So again, thanks to all of you, and everybody out there, thank you for watching.
And that's it for this edition of Political Empire. We'll see you next time.